I think my biggest, you know, concentration of monsters will be in the depths. That's always a little harder than on the surface. I could also do a few side quests. I got a few that I didn't finish yet. Of course, that's important too. But probably more exhilarating to fight the monsters to me. So we'll do some side quests a little later. So in the depths, there's lots of Hinoxes. We could go fight those. And thankfully, um, um, yeah, definitely get Tears of the Kingdom if you beat Breath of the Wild already. That's really good. This is a really good next choice. It shouldn't cost $80 though. It shouldn't cost that much. Um, the Switch 2 edition might cost 70, but it shouldn't cost 80. But you could also just get the Switch 1 edition, and that one's gonna cost 60 new. Or you can get the Switch 1 edition used, and you could probably find it for as low as 45 in some places. So just search around in a very strategic way, and then you should be able to find it at a pretty affordable price. You know, but it is up to you if you want to purchase it. If you want to purchase it new, by all means. And if you want to get the Switch 2 edition, you know, that's also a personal decision too. But if you just want to play the game and experience it, um, the Switch 1 edition should be fine, and it'll be cheaper too. Please excuse me while I mark the location of these Hinoxes on the map. Yeah, if you enjoyed Breath of the Wild, then I'm pretty sure you'll like this one too. It presents a new challenge also, because with the Zonai arm and everything that Link gets, it makes him, you know, whole nother a whole nother person basically. Yeah, definitely. All right, so we marked as many as we could. Let's uh let's get going. So, I'm basically at the end. I beat the game at the moment. I'm just doing stuff to 100% the game. So, like fighting all the enemies, etc., fighting all the bosses in the overworld, stuff like that. But as you play the game, you'll be pretty early on, and hopefully it's a great experience. You said you beat Breath of the Wild. How far did you get in that game? You basically just beat Calamity Ganon, um and that was it. I see. Well, that's not bad at all. Um, he was pretty tough. I recently replayed Breath of the Wild, but I played it on master mode. You know, enemies twice as strong, you know, etc. They hit you harder, etc. So playing on master mode was a whole nother beast. Yeah, I beat it on master mode. I basically 100% the game. I did everything except um the Koroks. I didn't collect all the Koroks. I only had like 400, a little more than 400. And had a little more than 400. But you know there's 900 Koroks. So I didn't collect them all. But I also yeah. But also there was something called Trial of the Sword. Trial of the Sword is oops. Is a DLC of the game. And you go through several trials to increase the power of the Master Sword. So that's another thing I didn't do. It was a little difficult on Master Mode. But everything else basically, what's up, Gab reward. Everything else I basically completed on 100%. All right, so next one is over here, south of that. So yeah, so Master Mode, the DLC, there's two DLC packs. The first one is the Master Trials. The second one is the Champion's Ballad. You get they call it the Master Cycle Zero. You get that one with the Champions pack, with the DLC pack 2, Champion's Ballad. That one, I think it's a little longer than the DLC pack 1. And it's really, really fun too. The cool thing about Breath of the Wild is that they added lots of DLC in it. Because on that game, you know, there was only the surface. So everything you did was basically on the surface or somewhere, you know, around the surface. But on this game, there's the Sky Islands. So you go to the sky, the surface, which is the place you play in Breath of the Wild, and then also in the depths here. Um, what's up, little ninja? Good to see you. And also in the depths here, um, and this is a whole nother adventure. So that's where I am right now. So even with all the DLC, and surprising to say, Tears of the Kingdom still has more content and stuff in it. I know that makes some people mad, but kind of true. There's just so much in this game. It has it's everything Breath of the Wild had, plus you know, plus more. Do you like anime? Of course. Anime is fun. No, this is not a Steam game, man. But overall, I think both games have very strong likability. So whatever game you play or prefer, I'm all for it. Ooh, it's a stall now. I don't really. I don't really. A lot of people debate which one's better. I think they both have potential. Strong potential. You like anime? Cool, man. Good for you. In your opinion, the Thunder Gleeok is the hardest, second hardest to kill? Huh. Second hardest. Oh, you probably heard what I said in my video, huh? You have game PC or work PC? I have both. Crazy enough. A lot of Zelda players agree with your statement. Or yeah, but I mean, I'm a pretty hard, I'm a pretty good Zelda fan, and I notice those little differences like that. I notice a lot about the games. But the Thunder Gleeok, um, when I said that, of course, I kind of meant it, but you also just have to realize that once you're used to fighting something, it becomes easier than, things that you're not used to fighting. For example, if you are, let's say you're playing Breath of the Wild, right? And you just fight Calamity Ganon over and over and over again. Um, ooh, nice hit, Tula. If you fight Calamity Ganon over and over and over again, eventually it's gonna be easy to you, right? And then let's say you're fighting a boss that you barely ever fight. That boss is gonna be a little tougher to you because you barely fight it. You don't have the muscle memory. Does that make sense? So I was hunting Inoxes on the surface, and they just eventually they just became like super easy. Like, oh snap, they became like second nature to defeat. Yeah, you get the rhythm. Yeah, you're right. Thank you, little ninja. But I remember though, also, oh snap, when you're fighting, I remember fighting Lionels. I already defeated all the Lionels in the game, so I don't have to really fight those anymore. But I remember when I was fighting them initially, my rhythm and my flow just became so good as I fought them that they just became like second nature. Super easy. But then I came to the depths and I began to fight the Froxes. And the Froxes, they aren't considered the strongest enemy. Um, they're not extremely weak, but they're nothing to really be afraid of, right? But I had trouble fighting them because I didn't really have the knowledge or the rhythm. So, you know, I'm sure you guys get it. Got a couple more Inoxes to fight down here. Yeah. Once you get their patterns down, then you can take out any Lionel. Right. Those Ganon Blights are something serious. I don't know what that is, little ninja. But I think one of the hardest blights, just in my personal opinion, um none of them are really hard, but if you fight them on like in the DLC Champions Ballot, you have to fight the blights again, except the game only gives you certain items to fight each blight. So, for example, fighting Water Blight Ganon, you get one light scale trident, and then you get two ceremonial tridents, like the counterfeit version of it, and then you get like 10 arrows, and that's it. So it's like, imagine trying to fight him without breaking all those weapons, you know, because, you know, weapons eventually break. Ooh. And so if all your weapons break, you have no way to defeat it, right? So, ooh, nice hit too then. Now, imagine, alright, little ninja, see your blood. Dang, dude, he tore this guy up. That's why I love the sages. I also increased their power using the sages' wills. But just imagine that though. Imagine fighting Water Blight Ganon with limited items, and also on Master Mode, their health regain. You know, they start to regain health after a while. So if you know, slow down your fight, if you stop hitting them, about 5 or 10 seconds later, they start to regain health. So it's like, um, imagine trying to defeat him, and your items are losing durability quickly, and he's regaining health. Plus, he hits harder. Imagine trying to beat him like that. In my opinion, Water Blight and Thunder Blight are the hardest. Yeah, I would agree. With Thunder Blight, though, I know he seems hard, but I started to read his patterns a little better. He just looks fast, but once you see what he's about to do, he's not extremely tedious. He's not super easy, but those are the two hardest for sure. But yeah. Um and then also, apart from that, Water Black Ganon has the most maneuverability because in the second phase of the battle he floods the room, right? And so you can't just get too close to him. You have to hit him from far away, you know, in some cases, right? I mean, you could, if you want to get close to him, you could, like, you could hop over and swim, but totally not wise. Because in the water you don't have as much maneuverability. So you know, it's an iffy battle on Master Mode. It was when that was knocking me out. No, the really fast one was Thunder Black Ganon. I like cheesy. Cool. So Thunder Black Ganon was probably your toughest battle. Most people's toughest battle is Thunder Black because he's so difficult. Like, he moves too fast. But looks like we did it. The closest thing would be, yeah, Thunder Black Ganon. But I realized the trick to beating Thunderblight is just attack at the most opportune time. I could actually fight Thunderblight. Hold up. Nah, I'm not gonna do it. I could, but I don't want to do that right now. That's gonna be a little more than I want to do. Plus, he's on the other game. I'd have to boot up Breath of the Wild. But the other day, there was someone they came in. They said they were struggling on Calamity Ganon. Um, because you know how Calamity Ganon during the second phase of the battle, he kind of becomes all red, and then you can't hit him anymore or whatever. Yeah, they were having trouble actually landing a hit, and I was like, dang. I guess it makes a little sense. Um, but I told them they have to master the Flurry Rush and also use their champion abilities to get the upper hand, like Urbosa's Fury. You know, that's gonna, really set you apart if you use Urbosa's Fury strategically. Also, you know, you told me it was not Master Mode, so I was like, yeah, that's good. Master Mode will present a whole nother challenge. But they said it wasn't Master Mode, so. Pristine Traveler's Sword. See if I can dump something. I like to say Siege Construct there. Oh, that thing was crazy. But it wasn't too bad either. Pristine Traveler's Sword. I can dig it. But um, also like you were saying, I also enjoy Calamity. Have I missed? Yeah. Well, by second phase, I meant you're still fighting the Calamity. It's not the pig yet. It's not beast scanning. Except he turns red. You know what I mean? So he's basically invincible to normal attacks. So he can't really be touched. So, but when he turns red, there's like a split second when he can be attacked. But you have to flurry rush him. And you have to get that the perfect dodge. The split second is the window is so small that it only appears during those times. And so that's kind of what the person was struggling with there. Looks like I beat all those Hinoxes. There's a couple more in this concentration up here. Let me see if I can get to these. There's one right here. One time I fused a cannon to Minoru's construct and she kills you. That's crazy. You gotta be careful with the cannon because Minoru, she's pretty much trigger happy with that cannon. So be careful. You be safe for giving her a laser. A beam emitter. I think the name of it is a beam emitter. It still does good damage on the enemy, but doesn't really, make big explosions that would hurt Link or whatever. Yeah, Minoru. I don't know if you know about Minoru, but both of the villagers from that you get from the amiibo, they're in this game. Let's look at the character profiles. So, for example, you got Zelda, of course, and that dress is Zelda's dress right there. That's in the game too. Kira, Robbie, Yasha, Papaya. This is Tulin. He's one of the sages in this game. And obviously, he's one of the characters too. His dad, Seba, Sidon, another sage, Yona, his wife, Dorfan, the old king, Sidon's dad. Well, that's another sage of fire. This is Riju, another sage, sage of lightning, Hergar, Buliara, Bronson and Hudson, Garo, Hestu. Hestu, you've probably seen him at some point. Secretary, Rauru. Link has his arm right now. That it's because of him that Link can do all that cool stuff. This is Minoru, Rauru's sister. I'm still wondering why did they choose to put Minoru as a character and why not like another one. But she's another sage of spirit. Master Koga from the Yuga clan, Ganondorf. But yeah, those characters are from Tears of the Kingdom. And also that Zonai authentication device thing, that's in this game too. And also the Silent Princess, I think is in this game too, if I could find it. You find them growing usually around sacred places. That flower. Here it is. Silent Princess there. And all that stuff. Yeah, definitely. The lore goes the lore goes deep. Tears of the Kingdom connects to a lot of the other Zelda games, including Breath of the Wild. I have every character profile except Master Koga. Well, you gotta meet him. You meet Master Koga by fighting him in the depths. Alright. Let's head to these areas. First one is right here. What's the easiest way to get to it? This place looks really dark and yucky. This is probably the best one. What's up, Rainbow? But I'm just gonna fight a few more Hinoxes today. I don't want to overdo it. Because I did play Animal Crossing for about an hour and a half too, so this is a monster camp. They usually have a lot of Zonite, so if you take them out, it'll be pretty good. Took the spy out, but he can't alert the others. Now he has rock on him. pressure. Oh snap, another one. It's okay, Rainbow. Yeah, 800 arrows from killer. Yeah, Lionels get you a lot of arrows. I can believe that. That's why I used to love fighting them, but oh snap. After I finished beating all the Lionels in the game, then I didn't want to overdo it. But if you need arrows, definitely fight the Lionels. If you need weapons, the Hinoxes usually have lots of weapons hanging around their necks, so you gotta defeat the Hinoxes. Well, I don't want to waste too much time at this base. So we're just gonna keep it moving to the next Hinox. All right. So basically, I'm just monster hunting. According to Zelda notes, I have to beat all the Hinoxes and all the bosses to get 100%. So whatever Zelda notes tells me 100% is, I'm just gonna follow that. And then I can officially say that I 100% the game after I do everything Zelda notes tells me. Zelda Notes is a feature for the Switch 2 edition of Tears of the Kingdom. But keep in mind, Tears of the Kingdom came out in 2020. Well, it's not exactly a new game, but when the Switch 2 came out last year, they made a Switch 2 edition of it, which included Zelda Notes and just various ways to improve your experience as you play. So I started to play again using Zelda Notes to help me get everything that I might have missed. Yeah, new season came out for Swampert, Megastone, Swampertite, and ZA Legends also. But I just recently ranked up to rank A already in ZA Legends. So it only took me about two days to rank up to rank A. And I actually used Mega Swampert on my team as I did it. But you know, that's because for me, Pokemon and battling is something that I find very fun. So every time there's a new season or something, I hop on it. But the next season starts February 19th, so I'm gonna sit out until the new season starts. Will it be for Blaze again? Most likely, yeah. Because we already have Swampert. And, I meant not Swampert, I meant to say Sceptile. Sorry about that. We already have Sceptile. You see, when you defeat a Hinox, it always drops the best weapons. The Royal set, Royal Bow, Royal Broadsword, and Royal Spear. Sometimes it drops a Royal Claymore too. So It's good to fight Hinoxes for weapons, Lionels for arrows, etc. Tears of the Kingdom came out in 2023. Yeah, exactly. I said 2020 by mistake, my bad. But so Tears of the Kingdom is still fairly recent for a Zelda game. Hey man, checking up on you. Dang, what's up, Mr. Eggy? Good to see you. Um, Tears of the Kingdom came out fairly recently, like literally about 2.5 years ago. Doesn't really feel like it, right? It feel like it's been out forever. But I know for a fact Breath of the Wild has been out forever. Um, but you know, just playing it again, man, it's a really fun experience. Oh shoot, they're gonna see us. Let's get out of there. Actually, nah. I want those ice keys. Oh my gosh. Yeah, so the Megastone will for the next season on ZA Legends. It'll probably be for dang. For Blaziken, like you were saying. And then we'll get Mega Blaziken. They would do the best one last. Honestly, I don't know if he's the best one, but he's probably super popular. But I think Swampert, Mega Swampert was more used though. Mega Swampert was more used um back in the day. But Mega Blaziken just has that uniqueness and coolness about him. Are you a big ZA battler? Is anybody in here a ZA battler? I take that as a no. But yeah, Legends ZA, man, super fun, super unique. Let's see here. Let's go for the blue. Let's go for the blue one next. So we're gonna take out a couple more Hinoxes today, and then we'll pick back up tomorrow on Zelda. Huh. Let's actually let's Richu. Let's actually challenge this place. Ooh. Golly. They just kicking butt right now. This is why I love the sages when they're fully powered. Hilarious. Alright. Now we can take the loot. Luna is useful for a lot of things. How we doing out there, guys? We still alive? Everybody still feeling good? I take that as a yes, huh? Oh, okay. That's good. I just love when the bosses get distracted by the sages. All right. Two more of these bad boys. Next up, green. There's a lot on my mind. I'm wondering what's the next build I should do for Animal Crossing. But I was thinking like to craft the soccer field. That's kind of what I wanted to do next. Wanted to craft the soccer field. Not gonna be as hard, it's just gonna take time. Not gonna be as hard as it seems. It's gonna take time. Yeah. So once I get that design going, yeah, I think it'll be really cool. But maybe I'll put that into work tomorrow. I think it'll be good. Awesome. So one more. One more high notch for today. After that, gotta take my break. Super duper tired. Hmm. Yeah. Huh. This is a little odd. Okay, it looks like we're going the right direction. Why is there a Harnax all the way over here? Huh. Like that's it right there. Shouldn't be too hard to defeat this one, but they all seem to be the strong black Enoxes. Those are like the strongest variant. Right. So, looks like we were able to do it. I'm gonna head to sleep, and I will hopefully see you guys next time, right? Thank you so much, guys. And yeah. Good night, good night, good night. Thank you, Jonathan. For sure. Joseph, everybody from